Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone back. This is the resuming meeting from the workshop. We've already gone through the presence. We do have a full board. We have a presence of a quorum. We've already done the pledge and the invocation. Item number 3, invitation to the audience for public comments. Includes board, staff. Anyone at this time like to discuss anything? Now is the time to. We are going to skip a couple items on this agenda, so we're going to move some stuff around, just kind of a heads up, so just stay tuned. Moving to item number 4, consider and discuss for possible approval the minutes of the workshop of the meeting and regular meeting on April 11th, 2018. So everyone had a chance to read their minutes. Any questions, comments, statements?
I'd like to abstain from the workshop. I got there on what was on those days.
Okay.
And I'll abstain from the meeting since I wasn't here. No, I was out of town.
Well, I wasn't here, so I guess we can't get enough.
Oh, no, we didn't.
Well, we do for the regular meeting, just not the workshop.
did have to.
Oh, you were there for the workshop.
Remember I called you from my
Yeah.
Yes, okay. You're right. I'm thinking I was out of town. I'm thinking last week when I was out of town. Keep going. Comments, questions? Motion to approve by Mr. D. Wells.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Avalos. For record, Mr. Houston and Mr. R. Wells abstain. All those are in favor. I'm in favor of it. Motion passes. Moving to item number 5, consider and discuss for possible approval agreement for financial advisory services with Estrada Hinojosa and Company.
Okay. As you see, the agreement and services provided by them has been around for many years. And
Just a second, before we go there, point of order, we did the workshop just then, but it's for the regular meeting also. We have a regular meeting that we need to address.
The minutes you're talking about?
Yeah, we need to approve the minutes for that.
We approved it all in one shot.
No, we couldn't because half of this.
Okay.
Council?
I can't hear. Can you restate what the issue is?
I made a motion to approve the workshop, but the agenda says workshop and regular meeting. I have to amend my motion to be workshop and regular meeting. We've already voted on that, so we good?
You're okay. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Cool.
Resume item 5, consider and discuss for possible approval agreement for financial advisory services with Estrada Hinojosa and Company. Carlos?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman and board members, as I mentioned, that Estrada Hinojosa has been with the district for many years, and we have the agreement right here in front of us. They've been working with our present information that he provided earlier in the workshop. So we'd like the board to approve this agreement.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by R. Wells, seconded by Mr. Avalos. Are all those in favor? Comment?
Question. Is this agreement in keeping with the prior agreement?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Motion made by R. Wells, seconded by Mr. Avalos. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you. It's a pleasure to continue working with you, Adrian, as we have through many years. Moving item number 6, consider and discuss for possible approval of the engagement of McCall Park Force and Horton LLP as bond counsel for Laguna Madre Water District.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman and members of the board again. McCall, Parkhurst, and Horton have been with the district also for many years, possibly about the same time frame, working together for the district as Estrada Hinojosa, and I'd like the board approval to go ahead and approve the agreement. And it's similar to the last year's agreement, last agreement.
Similar or is?
Go ahead.
For the record, my name is Noel Valdez with the law firm of McCall, Parkhurst, and Horton. And yes, in looking at the extraordinary loan board loan that you'll be considering earlier, we noticed that the engagement letter that we had with you all has expired. This is very much the same terms as entered into as the last engagement letter. Just some key notes on our engagement letter is that we only will get compensated pursuant to the engagement letter should the district incur into indebtedness. What that means is that we don't charge them on an hourly basis for work that we otherwise provide, and then also the agreement's terminated by the district on any day. I mean, it's entirely upon your but I wanted to introduce myself very much.
Thank you, Don.
Motion made by D. Wells, seconded by R. Wells. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are, none opposed. Thank you, motion carries. Again, it's a pleasure to keep working with you, Mr. Valdez. Thank you for your time and efforts. Moving to item number 7, consider and discuss possible approval, a resolution by the Board of Directors of the Good Monterey Water District requesting financial participation from the Texas Water Development Board, authorizing the filing of an application for financial participation and making certain findings in connection therewith, Resolution 15805-18.
Once again, this is a resolution and certificate of secretary and the application affidavit go hand in hand with the Texas Water Development Board and the work that they're going to provide for us. So, matter of board approval.
Yes.
Any questions?
I have it, but these are, all this is, right, all this is basically providing evidence to the Texas Water Development Board that the board, you, has authorized a filing for consideration to participate in their financial program.
Second. Motion for approval by D. Wells, seconded by Mr. Houston. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to jump forward and move to item number 13. Consider and discuss for possible approval AMI Ferguson meters.
And on this one is straightforward. The board wants to move forward on getting the longer.
So moved.
So moved. I make the motion. Cut and dry.
Motion made for approval by Mr. Houston, seconded by D. Wells. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. None opposed. Motion carries. Thank you. I'd like to thank all for putting their time and the effort in getting this done. Look forward to working with Ferguson. Karen, thank you for your participation and efforts. And this will be a successful program for everyone. Thank you. Any other agenda items we want to move forward before we jump to executive session?
You want to go with
If we can go to executive session.
Anything else we want to discuss before we go to executive session? Okay. Otherwise, I suggest we move to item 23, executive session permitted by the Open Meetings Act, BCCA Government Code, Section 551001, et sequence under Section 551071, consultation with attorney, Section 551072, deliberation about real property. Item A, consider and discuss purchase of water rights. Item B, consider and discuss water rights agreement with Garcia Doherty Interest. Item C, discussion and legal matters with counsel concerning 6900 Pottery Boulevard through 7200 Pottery Boulevard. I'd like to go into executive session at, what was it? 5:37 p.m.
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Avalos.
Second.
Second by R. Wells. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. We're in executive session. We'll go ahead and resume. At this time, I ask everyone of executive session at 6:54 p.m.
So moved.
Motion made by R. Wells. Seconded by Mr. Avalos. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. None opposed. We are out of executive session. Executive session item A, consider and discuss purchase of water rights. The district has agreed.
So we're on item 24.
Item 24, consideration and action on executive session items if necessary.
Now we're taking action on executive session item A, consider and discuss purchase of water rights.
Move as directed.
Move to purchase.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's what we...
Move to purchase as directed. Motion made by Mr. Houston, seconded by Mr. D. Wells. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you. Item B, consider and discuss water rights agreement with Garcia Doherty Interest. Motion is to proceed as directed.
Correct.
Do we need to take a motion? That's just a directive, right?
Correct.
Yes. And item C, discussion on legal matters with counsel concerning 6900 Padre Boulevard through 7200 Padre Boulevard. Motion is to proceed as directed. Then we will resume with item 8, back at the top, General Manager's report. Carlos?
I provided for the board, item number 8, the information that Mr. Herb Houston requested. He want to know what happened between after 2008. Kind of drafted up of the information that I had seen and experienced, especially all the projects that came about. I looked at Charles's records and implemented that completed projects in there also. So anything in particular that you may have questions on?
No, but I really do appreciate this, because as a new director, this really helps me.
Yes, I understand. That's why I wanted to provide it for everybody, so that way the whole board can have the information available.
And I took one note at the bottom, and it was kind of a nice correction, kind of reading what's going on there. Essentially, we've not had any growth of any significance since 2008. The district.
No, it's been about 1.7%, but it's starting to pick up a lot more recently. We're getting a lot more taps now.
Thank you.
Now we just have to add to this. Don't lose this copy.
No, we'll keep adding. That's correct. Oh, well, so we're gonna move on to the next item, or the manager's report is still on?
No, this might not be a bad thing to send to the press, to give them a synopsis of what your water district has done in the last 10 years.
They're not in today, but yeah,
Great to
we'll
take over.
give them a call.
Did we do the Hurricane Dolly 208 FEMA update?
Okay, and that report is,
Agenda item. We're gonna get acknowledgement from our chairman.
Excuse me, sorry about that. We are on item number 9, is that correct?
still the general manager report. The
Yes.
next one is,
Hurricane
the
Dolly.
Hurricane Dolly FEMA update.
Yes.
That,
I have a question for legal. This has got a lot of, that's looking to me, got some legal questions tied to it, and or some personnel questions tied to it. If that's something we shouldn't be discussing in executive session when properly noticed.
The FEMA?
Yes, the FEMA, because we're allegations of not.
I think we should bring it up out here. I think we should discuss it.
Not if it's a personnel matter.
It's
Well, it's
not a personnel,
it's
it's
not,
a
Or
It
it's just,
can be. It could
financial.
It could be legal, because there could be some legal ramifications associated with what FEMA's doing.
Okay.
And or there could be some personnel issues if there was some impropriety done anywhere associated with this. So I'm thinking that this is going to be discussed in executive session with proper notice at another
It
time.
could be, absolutely, given if there are legal questions regarding that agenda item. You also have a catch-all that essentially allows you to go into executive session now, if it meets one of the exemptions. You don't have to notice it as an executive session item to go into executive session to discuss it.
My preference is I'd like to treat this as executive session and properly notice it at another meeting for executive session.
That's perfectly within your right.
and,
Well
there'll be
noted and well stated.
a different report at that time. I think, we sent a response to them, and we'll bring it back.
Yeah, I am very glad that we did get that report done on time. Thank you, Eddie, for that, considering that you just come on board. That was something he had to deal with immediately, so I
And
really appreciate his efforts in
We
doing
did
that.
put a good report together, and
Yeah.
I was amazed at it.
Okay, we look at that in executive session. we'll act-
Table it,
Yes.
bring it back up next time as an executive session item.
Thank you.
Moving to 9, excuse me, 10, Director of Operations report.
All right, yeah, the first item's the Isla Blanca wastewater treatment plant reclaimed waters. And this is basically, taking the effluent.
Robert.
We're on 10,
Oh.
operations.
You missed 9.
I think it was 9. I wasn't sure if you
Engineers
had
report
done 9 while I was in the restroom, but we were on 8.
10.
Now we're on 9.
We're on 10,
Oh.
9 now.
Yeah, correct.
I don't have
So
enough.
we have
Oh, I have no backup for the
There's no
engineer's
backup,
report.
that's why.
There's
I'm
no
okay.
backup.
Engineer's report.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
We're at 9. Go ahead.
9 as per just the general
Yeah,
agenda,
there's no backup.
and it's the engineer's report.
Okay, yeah, it's just discussion. You know, the first item is the Blanca wastewater treatment plant. From about 97 to 2015, we were using that effluent to water the Cosme medians, which is about 26 acres. And then when we did our 2015 permit renewal, we had to stop that use because that's not what's written in our permit. The permit's written for the Isla Blanca part, which is separate from the South Padre Island reclaimed water. And so they've already converted to potable water, and you know had the corresponding increase in their bills, you know, from using potable water versus effluent. And so one of the ideas we're considering is to add a filter unit to get into compliance with the current reuse rules, and then be able to get them back on reclaimed water. And so you know we're talking about 26.7 acres in those medians, and we're looking at, you know, if we get it back to reclaimed water on a drought year where we get no rain, that we could be conserving 110 acre feet per year. During a normal year, we'd be looking at about 65 acre feet. And one condition would be, as far as the capital cost for that filter upgrade, would be something that the city of South Padre Island would have to bear in terms of a cost.
What's the cost?
We're still developing the budget numbers. We had lunch today, and so I got their irrigation demand request, and I forwarded that to the Fluidine, the manufacturer for the Cosme filter we have in Laguna Vista. So he's going to give me the budget for getting the same type of filter set up at Isla Blanca.
So we've been using this effluent on the medians for years and years and years. Now all of a sudden,
The permit expired in '97, and basically when I reviewed the permit in 2015, that's when I became cognizant of the issue. And so it's really just getting into current permitting compliance.
why did you bring it up?
I should have let the lions sleep.
It's about the time I saw the signs removed.
Yeah.
They were using don't drink effluent water.
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of the course of events.
As a matter of history, and Scott referenced this, the city manager at the time was Ray Kendall, and when we first started watering with the effluent, he put a sign that said,
Don't drink.
it said South Padre Island uses effluent water. So a visitor coming off, the out of wonder, I'm not drinking toilet water or what. I suggested to the city manager that we put on the medians,
Well, that's my biggest concern is if we go back to getting, nice, clearly observed signage right there at our main transit facility that just got built, where the first thing you see is do not drink the water. But, there's got to be a way to market that correctly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess that's kind of
Okay.
any other questions on the reclaimed water. The other part is the Port Isabel wastewater treatment plant modifications. Just a construction progress update. Percent complete by based on the work is 71%. On time it's 70%. So I mean that's where we're at. We had a progress meeting last week, and we're looking at a startup in July 2018. I mean the electrical contractor is basically the last part of the work that really needs to get done for us to be able to get the startup going. So it's all on track, looking good. The next part is just the methane monitors. We do have that bid advertised. We got the package put together in-house, put the advertisement out. We had a pre-bid meeting yesterday, and so we had 3 bidders show up, so we should be getting a good competitive set of bids. We're opening on the 23rd, and we'll present it for consideration and award there on the 1st June meeting. And that's where we stand with the methane monitors. We're clear with TCEQ on that issue as well. So, and then the last one is just construction management services. We should be able to get through this construction, using Corolla to finish out the job without any issues on budget from their side. And then the other side of it's going to be trying to figure out how we're going to get construction management services going for the sludge holding tanks, or basically the water development board component of it. And I'd recommend doing an RFQ for engineering services that meet DBE requirements, and that way it would qualify as the loan proceeds could be used to pay for that engineering. So that's one of those ideas to consider, just so we can, use that, take advantage of that low interest rate to cover engineering fees as well. So that's kind of, my comments on the construction management at this stage. That wraps up the engineer's report.
Okay, anyone else want to comment, anything else to add? Thank you. Moving to 10, Director of Operations report.
Yes, sir. What we have for the month of April was 282 on the distribution side, 282 service calls and call-outs, and 231 were in customer service, distribution 5, water law 44, collections 1, managers 1, and then those are broken down even further into the different areas that the calls were made out to. And then we have the collections department where they had 44 service calls call out, and those are broken out also by collections 26, call out 17, and maintenance 1. I don't know if you have any questions on any of these numbers.
Not on the numbers, but did we have water off at Paradise Cove today?
Not today,
What?
not today.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Because I got something on Facebook, but I never got the text that we had been real good at sending out to board members to know, let them know of an incoming or upcoming
And I
cutoff.
was out yesterday, so that just went by me.
Right. Anything else?
Information back to the board.
Thank you. Moving to 11, consider and remove from the table the following item tabled at the regular meeting on April 11th, 2018. Consider discussion for possible approval purchase of air supply material for Andy Bowie wastewater treatment plant, bid number WW-18-3-04. Motion to take off by D. Wells,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Houston. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
We are. Motion is off the table. Moving to item 12, consider and discuss for possible approval purchase of air supply material for Andy Bowie wastewater treatment plant, bid number WW-18-4-02.
We advertise and solicited for the procurement for material to replace the air supply pipe at Andy Bowie wastewater treatment plant. Installation will be done in-house. We received seal bids. When I went back to ask the vendors some of the reasons that what they did not participate, some of them said that they would not be competitive with this bid. Some others, they didn't carry the stainless steel, only the galvanized. And another vendor said they participate sometimes when they have the material in stock. For these last two, I request a quote, even if they don't have any stock. Of course, I did not include these because they were after the bid opening, but I just want to have an idea of if we have competitive prices or not. Both quotes are higher than what we are recommending here from Alamo Iron Works.
Doug?
Mr. Galvan, as I recall, when this was discussed at the last meeting, I was the one that suggested that we consider using 316 stainless steel.
Correct.
As the bids that we got in were 304 on the stainless steel. We had some 304, and I suggested, what would it take to go ahead and upgrade
yes.
to 316? And I asked at that time, we asked that we go ahead and get us some cost comparables, 316 stainless steel compared to 304, which we went through the last process.
Right.
I don't see any 304 information here for us to make a decision here tonight that is really cost effective for the district to go the extra expense of 316 or stay with the 304.
I see.
Well, the difference between the 304 and the 316 in the lowest, it's around $8,000. It's like a difference of $45 per linear foot.
Sir, that
But it's not in here.
information is
It's not in here in the packet.
that
No.
we requested at the last meeting.
No, I just, we
You brought it
received,
back to us as a new bid proposal.
Right.
yes.
And that was not my request, the board's request. I suggested that we consider 316 for the longer life of that. So we could compare it to the 304 if it was cost effective or not. That material was not provided to us. I'm disappointed in this information given to us in this bid package.
The difference is, you're saying about $8,000?
He's just guessing, he
Okay.
doesn't know. I need numbers. You had that from the information from before.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I thought we were very clear. Please show us the cost if we wanted to upgrade 316 compared to 304.
Huge difference in the life expectancy.
And cost. And if that's, then with that information, I can vote on what is the best decision for the district, paying more for longer life expectancy, or if it's out of line, say it's 304 and paint it, and get the life out of it.
Well, can we just table this?
Yes, that's what I would recommend.
And bring it back with the two comparables, please. Motion to table.
Motion tabled by R. Wells, seconded by Mr. Houston. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries, motion is tabled. Moving to item 14, consider and discuss for possible approval, job description for general manager, director of operations, or district engineer, and director of finance.
Make the motion.
Motion to, table by Mr. Houston.
Second.
Seconded by R. Wells. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. None opposed, motion is tabled. Moving to 15, consider and discuss for possible approval resolution adopting a revised personnel policy for the district, resolution number 159-05-18. I think this goes with 14, and I'd recommend tabling as well.
Motion to table.
Motion to table by R. Wells, seconded by Mr. Houston. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. None opposed, motion is tabled. Thank you. 16, consider and discuss possible approval lease of copiers, digital duplicators, color printers for the district, bid number CM18-01.
The current contract that we have is already going to expire, so we advertise for a new contract. At the tabulation, you can see both options that we request, 4 years and 3 years. Recommendation that I was doing is going to Dayhill, 4 years contract.
We use Dayhill, and I'm telling you, they got service you wouldn't believe in the dirt cheap over at the office.
Does that mean good service?
Unbelievable, I can't get rid of that kid. No, he's there bugging us every week. I mean, is everything okay, blah, blah, blah. I think I sent you mine, Carlos, but they're cheap.
Yeah.
And they're just cheap.
Sure.
Mr. Galvin, I'm reading the bid tabulations, and I'm seeing the bid results, 48-month lease, and I'm looking at, Dayhill, and it's showing a $897.07 amount. Is that for the full 48 months?
No, that's
per
monthly.
month.
No.
48 months.
Why doesn't it say that?
Well, the top of the column, there is a monthly cost.
Yes.
And the bid tabulation shows me $900 for 48 months.
No, it says,
No,
right
that-
under the name, it says monthly cost.
Yeah. It's pretty small, I mean, it's hard to see, but.
For 7 machines.
Yes.
It sounds reasonable to me.
I can support it if the staff's satisfied with that, and I take Rick's recommendation.
Motion, made by D. Wells for approval for Dayhill.
Or second?
Seconded by Mr. Alves. All those in favor?
Aye.
They are. None opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Moving to 17, consider and discuss for ratification of emergency item for MOVAC Environmental Inc. to haul waste activated sludge from Port Isabel wastewater treatment plant to Laguna Vista wastewater treatment plant sludge drying beds.
Yeah, this was work we did in April, because our solids were getting, high to the point where we're, getting our permit discharge limit at risk. And of course, with the construction, the sludge holding tanks are offline. So, and MOVAC's pretty much a sole source provider, for the truck size to be able to haul that sludge. So we went ahead and, got a quote and took care of, hauling that sludge over from the Port Isabel sewer plant over to Laguna Vista, drying beds on Holly Beach.
How often do we do this?
Oh, it's rare. I mean, this is the one and only time we've done it for the duration of construction, and it's mainly because of the aeration basin, being offline and that level of work getting done. This was just allowed us to stay within our permit limits.
I have an objection that it's listed as an emergency item.
when it started well before April 4th. And my other question is, what do our vacuum trucks, what are their capacity?
Oh.
800 gallons? And so, well, two that run, you've had issues with one, that's a separate conversation. We really need to come back to address the equipment. I would like to do that, but, you know, I would think that emergency situation, that we mobilize our own truck, even if it's only 800 gallons, and move some of this stuff. Yeah, these other guys haul 400 gallons.
Yeah, we had two trucks at 5,400 gallons, so we were able to do 6 loads a day.
I appreciate that. When the word emergency is put in front of me, I use it as an emergency rather than a means or just present me with a bill after the fact.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, the emergency would be the risk compliance with our solids. We would violate our permit.
Yeah, but if it's an emergency, I would assume that you would be dealing with it on an emergency basis, including using our own vehicle. And I really want to come back and address our bum truck.
Did we use any of our, are any of our trucks working to do any of that work?
Well, plus the tap has only been in place maybe in April. When did they finish that west tap? It hasn't been in place very long. It's part of the new construction. Okay. Yeah.
That's my only comments with those two comments.
So no, we didn't use any.
There's an action on this. Is there anyone speaking?
So as for approving the expense incurred, we don't have an amount, just approve the expense that they were going to bill us.
It was $10,000.
Yeah, it was.
$97.70.
Yeah.
Correct.
That was the proposal, this isn't an invoice.
No, the invoices are a lower amount. We received the invoices, and actually, you know, it's, I don't have the total in front of me, but it's well below the $9,770.
Why don't we have that?
They're with the accounts payable right now. I don't have the total of.
If we're going to improve an invoice, I'd like to see the invoice. Particularly if it's less.
Yeah, well, for some reason, it's because they didn't, include trip charges, and that's kind of where the differences come into play.
No, it has nothing to do with
Yeah.
you got an invoice or didn't get an invoice.
Right.
And, you know, so I can't make a motion to approve an unknown invoice from materials provided me tonight.
Okay. Well, this was, I guess the not to exceed amount was the purchase order based on 9,770, and we did do the 23 loads. It's just the unit prices in the invoicing was less than what was in the purchase order.
Procedure of council, can we take and approve an invoice without the amount specified? They're presenting up to an amount. The proposal was up to an amount, but yet we're authorizing, are we authorizing that amount or for the amount that's actually going to be paid?
We would have
over
to
5,000.
You would have to be creative in your motion.
Yeah,
yes, you can. If you were to approve that invoice, they would have to provide parameters for that approval. You could do it.
I can make a motion. This comes in the form of question to the motion. I can make a motion to approve the invoices provided to the district in the month of May.
April.
In April of 2018, and to the amount specified on those invoices.
Not to exceed the 97.
I think it might be appropriate to make a motion to approve the proposal not to exceed whatever that amount is.
The 9,700.
Would that work?
Yes.
Make it.
We're both saying that over here. Mainly he's saying this, but give credit where credit is due. That's a great
Been a motion
amendment to
made
the
by Mr. Houston.
Second.
To
Approve the
approve
proposal
not to exceed.
not to exceed the $9,770.
There's been a second made by Mr. Avalos. Are all those in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you. We are moving to item number 18, is that correct? No. Item 18. Consider and discuss for possible approval change order number 3 with CSA Construction, Inc. for the pipe supports, wastewater
Port Isabel wastewater treatment facility modifications and amendment number 3, deduct for Carrillo Engineers. Charles?
Right, now this is an item where there's some large piping, beneath the headworks that's sitting up 20, 30 feet in the air, and the structural engineer had just proposed some U-bolts, or, basically an insufficient pipe support. And Carrillo did recognize that as a structural error, and so they're willing to eat the costs for the additional structural support that are needed for that pipe. And so that amount is $16,485, but they don't have a mechanism directly in place to pay the contractor. And so the proposal is to do a change order where we pay the contractor, and then we do an equal deduct on their amendment.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. We don't have that in our packet, because if we're gonna do that, we need to approve a deduction of Corolla side.
Well, yeah, it's in the memos stated in, there's an internal memo, there's the change order.
I'm reading that, but, that's,
Yeah, it's the last sentence. The engineer recommends approval of change order to increase CSA's construction contract amount by $16,485 and provide a corresponding decrease to Corolla's authorization for construction management.
yeah, that's in your memo, but where's something for Carrillo stating that they'll,
They're not absorbing any of the costs.
they're gonna accept a decrease in their agreement with us.
Oh, they've sent me the email. I just didn't put it in the board packet. I just used their email to create the memo.
That's my question. We're gonna do an official change order for pay the contract. But we don't have anything official to approve to make that change order to Carrillo's contract.
So we could follow up with an amendment to get it in writing from Carrillo to do that?
Yeah, that's what.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
Motion
If
to table.
We'll get council, we clear their council, we're going to approve a change order, pay the contract. We're going to make a motion, I assume, to make a change order to deduct the same amount from Carrillo's contract.
The next meeting.
But we don't have that in place.
That's stretching it a little bit, right? Because it's not noticed on here, discussion and possible action for reduction of Carrillo contract.
No, but we can instruct the engineer to make it happen and put it on the next agenda.
Correct.
Yeah, and we
You
don't
just
hold
can't, you can't finalize the vote on that item, because Carrillo would then come back and say,
We would only make the motion to approve the change order for the contract.
Correct. And then instruct staff to put the reduction of the Carrillo.
And bring it to us next meeting.
Correct.
That's
From
our
Carrillo,
motion.
yes.
So moved.
Motion made by, was it D. Wells? Motion made by Mr. Houston, seconded by D. Wells. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
There are none opposed. Motion carries. Thank you. Moving to item 20, consider and discuss for possible approval the financial report for March 2018. Excuse me, I skipped one. 19, consider and discuss for possible approval a resolution designating authorized parties to act on behalf of the Laguna Madre Water District with regard to the district's bank accounts, resolution number 1600518.
God, where's my name? I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion made by Arwell, seconded by Mr. Houston. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
There are none opposed. Motion carries. Thank you. Moving to item number 20, consider and discuss for possible approval the financial report for March 2018. Everyone had a chance to review the financial report? Any questions about the financial report?
Is this your first one, Eddie?
Yes, sir.
Any problems?
No, I have, I did a little bit of analysis compared to last year, and our revenues are pretty much on target, compared to this point last year. So we're fine.
And he provided a couple of formats for me to review, and I like that format that he's going to include it on the next month's financial reports. It just makes it more easier for the board to understand.
I like the double pages.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Comments, questions? Motion made for approval by Mr. Avalos,
Second.
seconded by R. Wells. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. None opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Item 21, consider and discuss for possible approval investment report for quarter ending March 31st, 2017. Everyone had a chance to read? Questions, comments? This is our financial advisor, Valley View.
Yes, correct. And, you know, investments are up. We've more than doubled what investments were at this point last year through the first 6 months of the
Due
fiscal year.
to increased interest rates?
Correct. And more investment.
Income, yes.
So moved to approve.
Motion made for approval by Mr. Houston,
Second.
second by Mr. Avalos. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. Great, motion passes. Thank you. We are moving to 22, consider and review expenditures for April 1st through April 30th, 2018. Is there any questions about one in particular? Let's pull it, otherwise approval for all of them.
I think it's just a review. I don't think there's any action.
Consider and review, oh, yeah, usually we pass all these. Everyone reviewed them, questions, comments? Want to discuss one in particular, anything?
Move to accept.
Okay, motion to accept by Mr. Houston,
Second.
seconded by Mr. R. Wells. All those in favor?
Aye.
They are. That takes us to item 25, adjournment at 7:26 p.m. I want to personally